What's up guys, it's Danica. I am in New York and I haven't been on this channel for a few weeks now, maybe 2 weeks. Mostly it's because I haven't been anywhere in 2 weeks, and what I find is that when I'm traveling, I'm always doing stuff, I'm always outside, I'm always seeing new things, and I'm super excited to vlog and to be on YouTube. And when I'm in New York, I'm pretty boring. I basically just go from work to home to work to home to work, you know, the same deal. Of course I go out with friends and I'll have like drinks and dinner and I'll go to some events and stuff, but for the most part, I'm just cycling in between two places. I've also been pretty much just like trying to get my house in order here. I live in a small apartment in New York City, and because I was traveling so much, I was gone basically every weekend in June and most of July. Things were crazy. So I hadn't done laundry in a couple of weeks, my apartment was a mess, so I just really needed some downtime to sort things out. Anyway, I am back, and I thought I would kick off the month of August with a favorites video because I love favorites videos, and I know my favorites videos are kind of random. They're not always beauty, they're not always fashion, they're just like things I like, and there it is. It's just things I like. So here are some of my favorites for July 2017. So I thought we should start with the beauty favorites because that's like the traditional favorites category. One of my favorites this month that I've just started using and I've been using pretty obsessively over the past couple of weeks is the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. Now, I know that this is a product that has been all over Instagram. I heard about it on YouTube from somebody who heard about it on Instagram, and I picked it up at Sephora. So for a long time I was using the Sunday Riley Daytime Oil. I still use the evening oil, like the dark blue, like inky looking one. I love that. It's a great, like very, very mild retinol oil. But the daytime one I stopped using. I don't know why. I think it's because it got to be summer and it was hot and my skin gets a little bit oilier. And it was quite expensive. It was like $100. So I was using a $100 oil at night and then a $100 one in the morning, and then I was also using creams and moisturizers. It got to be like a lot on my face and I felt like my skin was getting overwhelmed. So I took a break from the daytime oil and I've just been using the nighttime oil. I have been looking for a daytime beauty oil, and what really sold me on the Farsali was that I saw someone use it on their lips. Now, my lips do get quite chapped. I don't know if it's because I'm like dehydrated and not drinking enough water, but what I found with the Farsali oil is that in the morning while I'm putting my makeup on, I put like the tiniest drop on my lips and it keeps them moisturized all morning. And what I also like about what it does is that it emphasizes the natural color of your lips, which helps when you don't feel like putting on like a lipstick in the morning or like a lip liner or something that's like matte and like doesn't feel fresh and like clean in the morning. So sometimes I'll just do my whole face of makeup, and for a more natural look I'll just use a drop of Farsali, and that usually stays on my lips until I like have lunch or coffee or something. Another beauty product that I picked up when I was in England that I really, really love, that I've been using every single day, is this. It's the Rimmel Insta Fix and Matte Translucent Powder. Now, I have used Rimmel powders. I use the Stay Matte powder. I've used that for a long time and I really like it, but I was looking for something that was transparent and didn't have a color because I do tend to get a little bit darker in the summer. I use an SPF 50 product on my face, but I do still, my skin still changes color, and I want to make sure that my makeup matches, and the easiest way is to use a translucent powder instead of a color powder. And what I love about this is that this also helps keep the mascara and the eyeliner from like getting all over underneath my eyes. Some people have this problem, some people don't. I've always had this problem. I think it's because obviously I'm Asian and I have subcutaneous fat under my skin, which makes my eyes like, you know, set differently than other people's eyes. And so I think my top eyelids and my bottom eyelids touch a lot more during the day. This actually helps keep everything like neat and tidy, and I think it's probably the best powder for that I've used in a long time. I have two fragrances that I've really been loving this month, and one is a new fragrance and it's very, very affordable, and the other is something that I've actually been using since college and I forgot about and I just picked up again. So this is the new one. I picked this up in Brighton. It is the Oliver Bonas Freesia and Pear Fragrance Rollerball. So Oliver Bonus is a British lifestyle store. That's the best way I can describe it. They have homewares, they have clothes and accessories, they have like jewelry and trinkets and like tchotchkes for the house, and they also have a really lovely range of fragrance. And I don't know if this is like a really big deal. I just have heard of Oliver Bonus, and obviously we don't have one in the States. So I went to the one in Brighton when I was there over the 4th of July weekend, and I smelled a bunch of fragrances and I picked one of these up. I think this was like 10 pounds, so it was about like $11 or $12. So this Oliver Bonus fragrance is freesia and pear. So it's, oh, I just got some on my nose. It's floral and fruity. And what I like about this, and I think the most important thing about fragrance, is that when you try it on in the store, you have to walk around a little bit, rub your skin against each other, and like walk around and smell it, and then come back to the store later and buy it if you feel like it's reacted well with your skin chemistry and worn well on you. Fragrance dries down and it smells different when you first put it on than like 2 hours later or 3 hours later or even 4 hours later. What I love about the freesia and pear is that the dry down is so nice. The top notes when you first put it on is very, very fruity. It's like very, very peary. And as it dries down, it becomes very, very lush and subtle, and it just smells like, it's one of those fragrances that when you smell it, like my mouth is kind of watering now because I just smelled it. It's one of those fragrances that when you smell it, you can sort of like taste it, and it tastes like rich and good and fresh and light, and it just smells like summer to me, which I really, really love. The other fragrance that I've been loving this month is an oldie but a goodie. I used to use this, I started using this in college actually. I had heard about it from, I don't even know who. I must have read about it in a magazine, or I must have like seen it on like, I don't know if you guys remember, like back in the day before there were like beauty forums online, there were these alt forums where you can discuss beauty, and this was like a really cult fragrance at the time. And I remember it only sold, the only place that I found it, this was before Sephora came to the States, or I don't even know if Sephora existed in the late 90s, but back in the day you used to be able to buy this at Henry Bendel, which is now like, I haven't been to Henry Bendel in like more than 10 years, but back in the day they had one of the most amazing beauty departments of any department store in New York City, and it is the Comptoir Sud Pacifique Vanille Apricot. So it's the vanilla apricot fragrance. It smells like cotton candy, basically. It smells so good, you want to eat it. It's very, very true, like a rich vanilla, not like a deep vanilla, but like a rich top note vanilla. And the apricot is something that like you can feel it as you smell it. You can feel like that scent of apricot waft from like the beginning of your mouth to like the back of your throat. Again, I love these fragrances that smell like you can almost taste them. They're like so sweet, but like not cloying sweet. I just love it so much. If you have a chance to go to a Sephora and smell this one, it is unbelievable. It is my favorite. They do a whole line of vanilla fragrances, and this is by far my favorite. And I don't know if it's because I'm like nostalgic for like the 90s and like the early 2000s. Oh, it just smells so good. And what I love about this is that it smells so good when you spray it in your hair, and it stays all day, and it's very subtle and like fruity, and people are like, what's that? It smells like dessert. It's so good. My last three favorites are not beauty products, but one is sort of a fashion product. I picked this up in Heathrow on my way back from Brighton. It is a pair of new sunglasses. Now, my last pair of sunglasses, I actually held on to it for a long time. I have a really bad track record when it comes to sunglasses. I usually lose them, or I break them, or I throw them in my handbag without a case. And so I try not to spend too much money on sunglasses. Although last year I did have a really, really weak moment at the Linda Farrow store in England, and I picked up a pair of they're amazing. They're like these giant black semi-cat eye, semi-aviator, really serious like dark glasses, and I'm shocked I didn't lose them. I'm shocked I didn't break them until I went to Brighton and they fell on the floor and I stepped on them and they broke. So I was sunglasses-less when I went to the airport, and you know what? I don't even need sunglasses really. Like, I don't feel like the sun like bothers me as much. I guess it's because I'm indoors most of the time in New York, but I didn't have sunglasses, and I went to Heathrow and I was poking around before my flight, and I went to the Chanel store, which is like so dangerous because the Chanel at Heathrow is actually so good and there's no one in it. They're so nice to you. Anyway, so I went in there and I saw these and I was like, these are the perfect replacement, so I picked them up. So yeah, These are my new sunglasses and I love them. I love Chanel, obviously, and I love the logo, but I'm not always comfortable with like a giant logo on the side of my face. That's one of the things I really liked with the Linda Farrow glasses, because they didn't have a logo, they only have like a couple of dots on the side, so it doesn't like scream, it's not like an advertisement on the side of your face. What I love about these is that the Chanel logo is in matte black, so it's not like super obvious. It's not like the ones that like say Chanel in giant white or silver. And I also think they're quite cool and they go with everything. They look really modern. And I've also never had mirrored lenses before. They're very it's kind of fun. I really like them. The one thing I'm terrified of is that they will scratch, so I'm super careful, and this is actually probably the only pair of sunglasses that I carry the case around for. It doesn't hurt that the case is quilted. Very chic. I also picked these up in England, and it's totally random. I love pens and notebooks, and if you love pens and notebooks, you will know what I'm talking about. I go into every stationery store, everywhere I go, and I'm always looking for the perfect notebook. I have millions of notebooks in my apartment. A lot of them I haven't even used, only because I feel like I'm just on this search for the perfect notebook. And I'm always on the search for the perfect pen. Now these I spotted at WH Smith. I bought a few packs of them. This one is brand new. I opened one and I took it to work. These are pens that I remember from the early 80s and from the late 70s. They're Stabilo pens, and they're just normal rollerball pens. And this comes in a 4-pack. It just feels like so retro to me. It feels like it's from my childhood. I think my dad used to use these pens. It comes in 4 colors. I love that it comes in almost like a pocket protector, which is also really retro. And they also write really, really well. So I love these. They're very, very cool. The last favorite I want to share with you guys is a tech favorite, and this is not a usual thing for me. I don't always do tech stuff. I'm an early adopter with some things, especially Apple products, but I don't always like talk about them because I feel like so many people are into Apple products. It's like so boring if I talk about it, but this I'm obsessed with. So I actually sprung for the new iPad Pro in the 10.5-inch size, and I bought the Apple Pencil, I bought the keyboard, the whole deal. And what I have to say about this is that it's amazing. I actually went to LA without a laptop, which was really risky because I was working all week, and my entire job hinges on me sitting in front of a computer 8 to 10 hours a day, being like locked in. I always have like 10 to 15 windows of my browser open, I have Slack open, I have like Outlook open, and I didn't want to go to LA with like tons of stuff because I was going to be moving hotels in the middle of my trip twice, and I wanted to be mobile, and I just felt like I was really going to give this iPad as a laptop thing a shot. I just picked up my new iPad Pro, and it had a built-in keyboard. Well, I paid for it, but it's attached. It has a keyboard and it has a pencil. And even though iOS 11 isn't out yet, which seems like it would make the iPad even more like a laptop or user-friendly in terms of daily like work use, I found that the iPad Pro is totally like beyond adequate for just normal work. And all of my work basically happens in a web-based CMS, in a browser-based CMS, and I love that Slack is a separate program, and you can split your screen on the iPad, so I can have Slack open on one side in one app and my browser on the left. That was so helpful. It was so great, and I love being able to like just take this and like inconspicuously go work at a bar or sit in my hotel lobby and no one would see me sitting there with like a giant honking laptop. Also, not having to take a giant laptop through customs, or not through customs, but through airport security, and not have to like carry it is such a burden off my back, like literally a burden off my back. This fits in a handbag. It's so much lighter. I mean, I even have a MacBook Air that I don't know if it's technically heavier than this, but it just seems bulkier, and there's something about it, there's something about carrying an iPad that just feels so freeing. It was so much easier to carry this around LA and Europe than it was to carry a laptop. So I am so happy I got this. This is an absolute tech favorite of mine. It's one of my favorite acquisitions, and I cannot wait until iOS 11 comes out in the fall, so it becomes even more user-friendly and you can save like actual documents on it without having to use the Documents app, which is what I use. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I'm really gonna try to keep up this YouTube thing. It is one of my favorite creative outlets. The sun is setting right now because I realized that one of the only times I have to film YouTube videos is when I come home from work, and luckily it's still summer in New York and the sun stays out until like 8 o'clock at night. So the sun is about to set. I'm gonna lose my light. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a great Monday, a great week, and I will see you next time.